My team gets very stressed at work when someone else makes a mistake that affects them. How can I reduce their suffering and get them helping instead of judging?
I want to help you have a format for this and really think through on the individual, and then we'll think through on the macro, basically how you can help people through their suffering. A tool I use a lot is this what do I know for sure and edit our own thinking. And here's how it happens. An event happens. Let's say I pull up the electronic medical record and there's information missing. It's probably an event that happens many times a day. Now, my reality is that there's information missing. That's all I really know for sure. If I were reality-based, if I were questioning my thinking, I might feel a little stressed. I'm like, oh, they do this on purpose. But I go, nope, what do I know for sure? There's information missing. What could I do next that would help? I would work with the patient to fill in the information and quickly get them admitted. What would that look like? I would be like, oh, there's information missing. What resources do I have? My employer gives me a keyboard for free. There's a patient in front of me who's conscious and English speaking. I want to do it in a way that adds value. So I might act in high self. I might say, I'm thrilled that you have chosen us for medical care. You're going to love it here. We have such a great team. We all work off this one medical record. And so I want to make sure, well, I have you and we're starting this relationship, that I get as much accurate information into this record so that my whole team, and by the way, you're going to love them, they're fantastic, they are working on the same page I am. So I've got a couple of things to ask. We're going to start with the easy stuff. What's your address? And the patient might say, well, we already put that in. And it says saying, I know, but admissions didn't enter. I say, you know what, one thing that happens here is we're going to ask you a lot for like your name and your birth date, and it's the way we really ensure that we have zero errors. And so let's just make sure we got it in, and I'll ask you some other questions. And I've told the patient, good job coming here, you can trust us. I've explained in our quality efforts, and they're going to not give the next person a hassle because they ask them again for their name and birth date. I've done so much good in that moment. I stepped up, I'm toggle switched up. But when I studied how people react to a mistake in the medical record, because we put some in some mock situations and then watched people respond, it didn't go that way. People pulled up the medical record and they saw information missing. And that got them thinking. Their ego just jumped in, came calling hard. I'm surrounded by idiots. I have to do everything around here. This is no way to run an organization. I'm the only one committed to quality. Nobody else even cares about this stuff. I now am going to be completely behind, and I've got to do all the work for everybody. This place would fall down if it weren't for me. And once I believe all that thinking, I'm toggle switched down. How am I feeling? Because this is a chain reaction. It's a cycle. I'm feeling stressed. I hate my job. It's so frustrating. But what caused my stress and frustration? Information missing? That happens every day. That doesn't have the power to stress me out. See, it's believing my thinking. And once I'm feeling stressed, do you suppose that comes out in my actions towards my patients? Absolutely. They tell us it does on the patient experience survey. So I look at that and I'm thinking, this is ridiculous. My body language, I'm like rolling my eyes, I'm sighing, I'm like, oh. And I start interrogating the patient. Didn't you come through centralized registration? Didn't they call you last night to set this up? What is going on? And now the patient's scared to death. You're like, well, and the patient said, no, they called me. Well, I don't know. If they put it into the new system, I don't know what happened, but it's a new system. Data kind of comes and goes. And you're just bleeding all over this patient. And now this patient, what you've taught them is do not trust us. Make sure you double check us. Like, we are not a team. Like, you have made sure that they're frightened. And then you know what? That affects our results. It comes out in their experience. It comes out in our engagement and culture of safety surveys. But we think that what caused all of that was the event. Of course our patients aren't satisfied. There's information missing. Of course we're unsafe and we need to respond to the culture of safety because there's information missing. But see, there is this very important component that could have determined whether that was a poor patient experience or not. And that is whether or not someone believes their own thinking, whether they're toggled down or up, whether they're self-reflecting or letting the ego play them.